Okay, we're starting now, all right? Rolling into it. Haley Driscoll, Katie Bowman on the couch. The big green couch. How do you like it?
I love it. It's mail time. You know, it's got that feel, that Blue's Clues feel, that like nice show couch. Maybe I'll sit on you like Drew Barrymore. Just kidding.
Yeah, have you seen Drew?
During
I can't believe Drew won the talk show wars. I wanted Kelly to win.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Even though she like went against the union and everything, Kelly.
Yeah. I know. It's complicated for me because I always liked her when she was in
I mean, not Kelly. Drew went against the union. When they were striking, she tried to keep her show. Yeah, keep going.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. And she won anyway?
She won it seems like she's one of the worst. I haven't, daytime talk show wars. Because I've only seen her show. I haven't seen Kelly's.
Yeah,
although
I
Kelly's
honestly
going through a
haven't
divorce.
seen any of them, except I was at the gym and I finally saw, because
That's where I watch them.
people
When I'm at the gym. That's where I see them.
People were like, I can't stand Drew Barrymore on her show. She's too close. And I was like, what do they mean?
She
And then
is.
she is literally like, the episode that I saw, she is on a little tiny one-person chair, and then there's a one-person chair right here. And they're literally like, and she's like, we're going to give you $10,000. And then she poses like this. And it's like, she's like on top of her guests. And so that's why I made that little Tim and Eric meme thing, because I was like, this is literally, yes. Like she gets on the floor sometimes, or she puts her leg on them.
Yeah, I did see her with her leg
Which
on
makes
them.
me
I'm like,
laugh,
what is
just because
happening?
like I'm like that sometimes with my friends that I'm really close with. But I'm like, how close is she with these guests?
Well, get ready, Haley, because I'm going to do this one to you.
No.
No.
Go ahead.
It's
Go
so
ahead. No, I
close.
want it. I need it.
It's so
Aw.
close. It is. She's sitting on a guest
Oh,
there.
my God.
Is that Phil?
Like they
Corner?
all look.
It's Phil Corridor.
Edit that out.
That's,
they look all uncomfortable.
this is
just a little
Chidi
bit.
from The Good
Edie,
Place.
Right.
I feel like the only people that'd be okay with this are like improvisers, and that's because I came from
What is
improv.
Yeah, there's like,
And
we
we
have to
all-
yes and this or we're bad.
Yeah, like I don't know. I was just like in my brain, not thinking, letting people.
You see Kelly. Oh, wait, that's not Kelly. It's, who's that? Is that
It,
Lady Gaga?
it looks like her, but it doesn't at the same time.
That's
See, the
Phil.
Kelly Clarkson show, they're all just having fun.
Yeah, like I think.
Yeah, I watch things on 2 times the space.
What's that guy who used to wear the fat suit that would interview people?
Yeah, Martin Short.
Yes. Yeah, it would be Martin Short, but he.
Jiminy Glick?
Yeah,
Yes,
Jiminy Glick.
Jiminy Glick.
Thank
Like,
you.
dude,
I know he's
it's like
problematic.
she's doing, it is, but it's everything from that time period
Yeah,
is. And I mean, it still makes me laugh watching him like jump on top of people.
I know.
It's not even the fat suit. Like, I'm like, it's just your act. Like, it's funny because they have to make them fat, but it's like, it would have been funny even without it. Like, why did you
Would it have been though?
Well, I mean, part of the reason why it's funny is just because
I
like
mean,
fat
that's-
costumes or fat suits, like
I would.
they don't look like a real
Yeah,
fat
it's
person.
like-
you
it
know what I
is-
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
Fat Bastard definitely looked like Michael Myers, like his face was like implanted on like a little CGI
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
cartoon or something. You know what I
I
mean?
only said that because I just had Mitch Jones and Patrick Scott on, and we were talking about in the '90s SNL
Yeah.
and how like when SNL first started, they always had like a fatty fall down guy.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
always
Chris
it. I mean, they
Farley,
still
John
have
Belushi.
that.
They
canon.
don't. Who's that now?
I
They don't
mean,
have a
Adie
fatty fall down?
Bryant was a fat.
Well, she wasn't like busting through walls.
But I mean, it's
you know?
comedy's evolved
Sure,
from it
yeah,
too.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like there's always a
Sure,
fat person.
yeah, that's true.
And sorry,
But
Adie
there's
Bryant, if
something
you don't
about that.
identify as fat, plus size,
Yeah, plus
I think
size.
you're a fucking queen.
Sure,
if you
yeah.
ever
We're
see
not
that.
trying to.
Yeah.
I mean, but they don't have a guy. Yeah.
I'm like, I identify as fat right now.
Why
so
is there
I'm like,
something
why-
about big people smashing through things that people think is hilarious? What the fuck is that?
I mean, I do
Haley,
think skinny
what the
people
fuck is that?
falling.
It's like a
I-
cartoon. I don't know.
yeah,
Kool-Aid Man. I don't know.
She's like, it's hilarious.
I love it.
I think skinny people flying through. I mean, okay, same thing. Molly Shannon's character,
Mm.
she would fly through shit, and it was fucking hilarious. And like
Yes.
her little ass would hang out,
Oh, yeah. Right.
and
right.
I'd be like, she's cute and funny, you know.
I just
But
read
she
her
was,
book
like,
too,
flying
and
on-
you were a big advocate for
Oh yeah,
her
that's
book.
a good book.
It was intense. It was a lot more intense than I was ready for.
Well, she's Catholic.
Well, yeah, I mean that part I related to.
What movie?
It's Molly Shannon's book.
Oh.
But she reads it. It does start off. I always tell people it starts off. And I shouldn't laugh, but I'm just like, it's an interesting, it's a Catholic choice to me. Like, it starts off with her biggest family trauma possible. And like, she's like a trained actress too, you know? So she's like talking about her mom and sister dying in a family car accident. Yeah.
So I was just trying to find her being physical.
Oh yeah. She's always physical.
Yeah, that's something she talked about in her book that I didn't
Yeah.
really give her credit for back in the day.
Oh, I always was like,
I
this
just didn't
is-
notice it. You know, I guess because I was like, oh, Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell. You know, those are the guys. You know, I was identifying with the guys. not
Yeah.
when I was little.
Look at her. I'm 50. Like, there are so many women like still. That reminds me of my mom. My mom's like, I'm just having a little trouble losing 10 pounds. And I'm like, for what? You're in your 70s. Like, you look fine.
Yeah.
You look fine for a 70-something-year-old woman.
Yeah, we can't watch
It's
too
like
much
they
of it
need
because they
everyone to
copper.
know that they're still fuckable at
Yeah,
any
for real.
age.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, we get it.
Now they're all on Instagram.
I know, I love it. We're 50. My mom is on X.
Really?
She's like, are you on X
Thanks
still?
for
And
not
I
dead naming
deactivated it. And I was like, Mom, you can't, no one calls it X. And
I mean,
That's a
tell
porn site.
The-
who's the guy who owns
the
it? I
right
keep thinking
wing-
Mark
Elon
Zuckerberg.
Musk?
Yeah, tell Elon Musk that.
okay, my friend Alex showed me there's like these like gamers that do animation of like politics and stuff. And it's like this weird nightmare fuel. Look up Nightmare.
I don't want to.
Elon It's literally
I'm having
it's
flashbacks
not-
to our old
it's
pod.
like
You're like, look up Cenobites.
I know people ask if I bring it back, and I'm like, it's not the same without JD being
Well, that's
upset on the pod. Like, it really was like a part of it that
yeah,
was great.
he brought this the sensitization.
Yeah,
Sensitization.
It
Thank
was
you.
literally comedic. It reminds me of that scene in Barry where like he's hanging out with that other guy who's like just got out of the army and they're both hitmen, and he just keeps watching all this DP porn. And he's like, dude, look at her. And like Barry's like, you're still watching that. But like instead it's like the horror. But like JD's like, okay.
Yeah, every week you brought me a new video. You're like, watch this one.
no.
But maybe you'll like this
right
one.
as I started to be like worried about you, that's when he stepped out. I was like, I don't know. It's so good, but it's also
No, it was a very fun pod. I do, you know, yeah. It just
you
was.
like
It was
you
a lot.
brought up X like 3 pods later, and I was like, all right, maybe we got it.
Dude, it haunts me, dude. That fucking one with Matt Oren about the
Yes, the child.
yeah, this like imaginary friend stuff fucks with me, dude.
It is. Have you seen? There's a new
No,
Okay.
well, yeah, Mallory, I think
This
went saw
is
it with you.
comedic. This is supposed to be funny, but it's called Nightmare
Nightmare.
Elon Musk. It's a YouTube. Alex was showing me. It's like a whole other side of expression that I've never seen before. Where like gamers are using the game stuff, kind of like Shrek is Love, Shrek is Life. You know, what is this guy? It's like he's got a crazy face, and I mean it's Elon Musk's face, but oh
You
god,
found
I'm
it
not gonna
on
be able to
X, you
find it.
said?
I can text him.
Is it on X? Or
I just put in Nightmare
It's
Elon
literally about it's like a nightmare of like Elon. They like take
Really?
Elon Musk and make him into like a video game character. I mean, there's so much stuff. I'll text Alex and see if he can send me what it's called.
Musk.
And we
Yeah,
can.
but we're Molly Shannon's book, very good, but also
Yeah.
like lots of trauma. Starts
course.
off right off with her mom and her sister dying in a car crash when
Mhm.
she's very young. And then, but yeah, she's very physical
Mhm.
comedian.
I love it. Yeah.
She is, yeah. And Kate McKinnon's physical.
Right.
She's a skinny man. I'm
So
trying-
yeah, there's a lot of
Oh,
physical comedy still on
Sarah
SNL. Just
Sherman's very physical and very funny. That episode, the sketch where they have like that game where you put those things in your mouth that do this, but she just has them in and like
Like
the-
to get X-rays.
yeah, kind
Yeah.
of like that. But there's a game that they made with those too. But yes, they open your mouth at the dentist. Those things.
Know about
But they did a sketch where like
that a
she
game,
was
Katie?
like stuck. There's a game. It is. I played it at Thanksgiving with Brad's family. It's like you put it in, you have to try to speak with them, and it's really hard because you can't move your mouth in the way that your
Huh.
tongue can flex and make sound with your vocal cords because your mouth's like used open.
Yeah.
Much like when you're asked a question at the dentist, you know,
yeah, I
and
just
you're
went to the
like,
dentist. Hate it.
"We broke up." Like, could you understand what I said?
No.
I said we broke up.
Oh,
Whoa.
out of context, out of nowhere.
I don't know, I
Yeah,
just
that
like
is
it in a
weird that that's what came up.
Well, I mean, your dentist would
You're
ask
like,
you personal questions,
Brad's
right?
family made me play
How's
this
your
game. We broke up.
husband? How's your
Right.
friend? You know, like that's what your dentist is. If they know you, a lot of dentists work the whole family. You know,
Yeah, totally.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I just started off with a new dentist. Insurance just like put me somewhere,
Mm.
and he's like trying to get Mallory to come so hard. He's like, "Bring your wife in. Bring your wife." And I'm like, "I'm
Exactly.
not even sure if I like you, bro. All right,
we
let's
broke
Yeah.
up.
fucking settle
Right?
Stop talking about my wife.
yeah, you keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Stay
He's
in
like,
my
bring her
mouth.
in. I
That's
love
it.
to get inside her mouth. That's like so
Dude,
weird.
dentists
But
is so
they're
weird.
just. I think they're just
Fucking
like
hate
they're oil
dentists.
salesmen. They're like, come on, your teeth. I need your money.
I heard someone saying that you can negotiate prices with dentists.
They are like kind of like
Ugh.
the tooth fairy, but like scary tooth fairy.
Always scary. Tooth
Yeah,
fairy's
they're
always
like, oh,
scary.
I'm gonna have to take this tooth, and you're gonna leave money, but you're leaving the money under the pillow,
a
not.
lot of money.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be awesome if that's how the dentists work? You just put money under your pillow and you wake up like it's like
Tooth's
Eternal
gone.
Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. They just like show up and do their shit while you're sleeping.
Ooh. A lot of
That's the
implications
future.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys have been having a good winter, huh? Coming out of
Oh
hibernation,
man,
man.
I'm so ready for winter to be done.
I thought it'd be fun to get you guys both on the pod together. You
Well,
know,
thank you.
Yeah, I think it's just I wanted to have a fun, silly goose time.
Yes.
And now you're touching each other.
Blah,
I mean,
blah,
like consent is good.
We are very yes ends in this friendship, wouldn't you say so?
S and?
Yes end.
Yes and. Yes and. Sorry. I'm yes and what
I look
sometimes.
back when I
Yes
was
and
going through a
what?
hard
Ooh, that's
time
fun.
in 2020. Haley came to the lake with me probably like too many times and she needed to come. She's like, all right, she's just gonna go back out there again.
No, it was good.
I'm totally kidding. I look back on it though, and I was like, we were pretty drunk, just like
I know. I ran into the lake with my phone and my shorts.
I forgot about that. That
you
was
guys are just carefree at this lake. What lake was it?
Chatfield.
Chatfield during
Oh yeah, we
COVID.
went there one time.
Yes,
Yeah,
I just love.
You're connecting with the water.
I know. I'm such a Cancer.
What do you
Big
think
time,
that
yeah.
is?
What'd
You
you
just
say?
like love water.
Oh yeah, I'm a Cancer. I'm a water sign.
Okay, water sign.
baby.
I was born in July too, so I was made for
Do
summer.
you ever try and like air bend or water bend?
I do a little bit of this.
Yeah,
And watch
it's water
it.
bending.
Yeah.
Move away. That's what.
You seen Avatar? Last Airbender?
My ex loved Avatar, and I think he
So
kind
now
of
you're-
ruined it for me.
Lucy
Protesting.
loved it.
Even
I know.
Korra? You seem like you'd love
I know
Korra.
it seems like there's a lot of Buddhist things.
Yeah, a
in
lot of
it.
Buddhist things, a
I'm not-
lot of
yeah, but too bad some
a lot of butts.
terrible Greek Orthodox Catholic ruined it for me.
Yeah, they
Greek
do a lot. They ruin a lot of
Orthodox.
stuff.
The Catholic.
I was thinking
I know,
Greeks.
I
No,
know.
just-
Greeks, yeah, the Greeks, and all their debt.
Yeah, they're ruining this world with their debt. Sorry, I've been Trump's so fun to do, like as
His
an impression.
voice?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
He is making me crazy. Like I just can't
he's
believe.
making me crazy.
I'm like I like can't believe that this country's like, yeah, he's our candidate.
I know, right?
And he's a criminal. Like
You just go to the lake and you just stare in the water.
my mom
You're
was
just
like,
"How could this be?"
my family's in Texas, and my mom was like, it's hard down here, like the lady that was renovating my house was like, no, he's not a criminal. That didn't happen. Like, should I be trusting with my house?
I listened to this podcast called The Necessary
It
Conversation.
is scary. That is scary.
And it's like this guy's like liberal, left wing, him and his sister, but then his parents are like right wing Maja was something he says because it's funner than saying MAGA. Maja. Yeah. And so like just the idea of having a conversation for an hour once a week is like the idea of the podcast, and they talk about politics, but their parents are so right wing. They're just like, Trump is the best. Like he could do no wrong.
Oh my God.
Like
it's
he's
so
just like,
weird.
they can't like conceive of him doing anything bad. There's like, he didn't know that woman. Like, how could he rape somebody he didn't know? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
Yeah.
it's just like,
I feel like a lot of the time it's that situation. Like,
but yeah, it's just like, so, I mean,
no, I mean,
they're
it's
so brainwashed by, I mean, they're like zealots. They're like religious zealots before him. They're like, he's going to fucking save this country, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, a race war's coming. It's crazy.
No, it's true. It's like
That a race war's coming?
I feel like some kind of civil war is coming.
Whoa.
No, not like a race war, but like, I mean, that's part of all these issues that we're having, like
Yeah.
there is like people are being very open about their white supremacy now. I just heard on another podcast that like lynching was like one of the most Googled
Whoa.
things when Obama took office.
Damn. That's fucked.
And I'm like, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? Although Biden's not a great.
No, Biden sucks.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's
both
like,
our options are bad.
yeah, that's exactly what the two kids are saying on the podcast. But they're just like, if you're not for Trump, you're against. Like, and it's
That's
it's
exactly what people with
crazy.
Biden are, though. This girl just unfollowed me because I made fun of Biden. And we used to talk sometimes, but people do this to me where I'll like let them in my life and I'll like talk to them a little bit, and then I don't puppeteer how they want me to be, and then they're like, and they throw me in the basket.
Aw.
Beyond red.
The only reason why
Yeah, where's this? You can't. Let's leave you on red. Was that like a red light? Like you're stopped
Leave you
at a
on
red
red.
light.
Well,
Is that what leave me
she
on
like
red means?
publicly like commented on that video where he's eating ice cream that I made.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
And it's
right.
okay. And she was like, this is negative. And I'm like, what? Everyone makes fun of the presidents. Like, what are you talking about? Like, and Biden's very easy to make fun of. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
It's something else
He
we're
doesn't
talking.
have eyebrows. He just has pieces of skin that go like this.
Oh, oh God.
He's like, oh, like every time he talks, you're like, that is a robot in a bunch of silicone or something.
We're just talking on the last pod. We're also saying that the political stuff on SNL is like not very like pointed because they don't. I think they don't want to make fun of Biden. Like, and that's like
Yeah, it's
like
easy.
makes it look. I don't know. Makes it seem like there's a real problem there. If they
Yeah.
can't make fun of him, then there's
Well,
something
I mean,
really
they're
wrong.
just like all over the place. I feel like TV is really suffering right now because TikTok and even Instagram, even though, Zuckerberg's silencing everyone. But like, I feel like people are just able to like show the truth of like what's happening in the news.
Truth Social.
Like that's how we found out that George Floyd was murdered. Like, we're seeing all this awful genocide happen right now, and it's like you can't deny this unless you're literally choosing ignorance at this point. But at the same time, people are like Trump's going to save the world, whatever. There's that side of it, and they're literally taking videos from the other side and being like, "This is us. We're the victim. That's an Israeli person," and it's like, "Oh my God, that's like a Palestinian kid." Like, there's so much mislabeling happening. And them still trying to give like do propaganda to us, but we have footage of all of it, and so I feel like now the television, there's no good side to anything, and they're having a hard time touching base with that because they also receive money from everything that goes into the government.
You mean
and
like
everything.
media?
Yeah,
Okay.
like you get silenced if you talk about Palestine.
Sure. Yeah. We're getting pretty heavy, which, is
You know?
nice. It's just like, I don't know how we got here. I'm sorry. I know it was
Well,
my
they
were
fault.
talking
I know
about
it was my
TikTok
fault.
as well, which is scary.
Yeah,
Because and it's like all internationally owned
Yeah,
media.
Beijing owns
So
TikTok.
if
Yeah.
Trump wins, like I'm sure there'll be a shit ton of loopholes being like, this is actually an internationally owned thing.
I've heard a lot of things against TikTok. What's your argument for TikTok? Like just freedom of
freedom of
freedom
speech
of
and seeing
information.
the genocides.
Yeah, there's like a reason they don't want countries talking to each other, you know? Like they want to keep you dumb.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, it
But
feels good to be
isn't-
dumb.
Yeah.
I just don't want to look at that part of who I am, you know?
Ignorance is bliss, you know? Just like the Matrix.
It's okay if we're dark. I feel like it's weird to not be dark. I feel like
No,
it's
I
weird.
mean, it's just, yeah.
I feel like it's weird that people are like, life's fantastic right now. I'm having a good time. It's like, you're a sociopath. Like, like if you're not seeing all this shit that's about to happen, like I feel like, you know, the one thing that some people I've been talking to have been saying is if Trump does take office, like that actually might get liberal people to do some shit. That'll get shit moving, but it's still going to be like this snowball of
Another
awful things before
4
it gets
years.
better.
Yeah, well, yeah. And they're all talking about like he wants to be a dictator, not a
Yeah.
4-year president. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
well, and there's like this judge in Texas that all these like Christian affiliates are like going to and being like, yeah, let's take away PrEP, let's take away gay rights, like all this shit. And then he is a federal judge though too. He's not just a Texas judge. So he passes all this shit and it's going into the Supreme Court. And like sometimes like they're not even talking about that because right now everyone's just trying to convince Biden that, yeah, those are real videos, you know, like there are people being murdered right now. There's so many like counter arguments happening that Christian people are just like, and let's pass this bill and let's pass this bill. And it's like, yeah, it's like, it's just really frustrating. Yeah.
It is scary.
Yeah.
Scary
So
time.
anyway.
So
what are you
I just-
talking about joke-wise?
I just got my passport renewed.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I was like, I might need that soon.
right.
What are you talking about, joke wise?
Joke.
Oh, yeah, we're talking about you
I haven't written a
haven't
joke
gone
in
to...
5 years. I wrote a joke about wanting to have sex with Mark Ruffalo, and I only got 3 faves. My partner said the hashtags. You didn't need the hashtags.
What?
I said people who don't like poor things
Mm-hmm.
just haven't like really indulged in a fantasy about Mark Ruffalo fucking them silly.
But
isn't he like a bad guy in that
This
one?
is your new. This is your new.
He like steals all her money, doesn't
I
he?
know. I
do that?
kind of like.
She steals
view
his
him-
money, kind
Oh,
of.
He's
right.
kind of rapey though, isn't he? Like he's taking
don't
advantage of
know.
a person with a baby brain.
I don't know. This is why I don't write
wow.
jokes.
Okay.
But he is cute in it in like a fucked up way.
I
But I mean, that's a
know.
lot of like, if you
I
watch
had
cinema from, I feel like I'm such a bummer today. If you watch cinema from like early years, you're like Snow White, like, or Sleeping Beauty. I'm like, that's a little rapey.
Sorry, but no, totally, yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we're like also.
If you want her to never wake up, yeah, he shouldn't have kissed her.
Oh,
point
I
of
love
view.
that. I love that
Just
some
like-
guy was like, the only way we're gonna get her to wake up is if we put a little tongue in there.
They always wake up when I do that. Like, is that what he's
Yeah.
saying?
And
They
hit
always
me
get
in the
up and run away.
face. Don't hit me in the face.
I know.
Yeah,
and
we
she's just
needed-
like, oh my God, it's you. I love this. It is kind of like a rape fantasy.
Snow or Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
If a kiss is rape, Katie.
It's a sexual assault fantasy.
Yeah. Thank
you. I mean, there is
Yeah, let's
like
be clear.
There's sleep porn. There's like sleeping porn where like the guy like comes in and like wakes up the girl.
With his dick.
Yeah, and it's weird, you know, you don't really see a lot of gay porn like that.
Yeah,
At
dude,
least
all
for
the gay
me.
porn I've seen is like they're getting right at it.
Oh,
There's no
consent.
working up to
It's
it.
exciting.
It's like they're
It's like we're in it.
they're already
I love
Yeah.
gay porn.
they're already on a couch just going for it.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
very nice. This one's like,
It's very nice.
I'm gonna pretend like she doesn't know. Oh yeah, I love gay porn. They're like, I'm gonna pretend she doesn't know I'm here. I'm gonna wake her up with my penis like a fucking psychopath.
Yeah, those are.
Yeah, or it's like daddy daughter.
I've been. I was asking, I've been-
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh wait,
Mark Ruffalo.
I was like getting away from. I wasn't even thinking about.
Okay, I had
No.
pre-existing Mark Ruffalo crush.
No, he's so
Okay.
cute. Okay,
I know.
literally,
The Hulk?
Eternal Sunshine, Spotless Mind.
Thank you.
Eternal Sunshine.
He's in that?
He's not.
Yeah,
in that.
he is also kind of rapey in Eternal Sunshine. Just kidding.
He's in it?
He is. He's Kirsten Stewart or no, Kirsten Dunst. When they work together and he
I
shows
never
up.
saw it.
Oh, he's a.
You never saw Eternal Sunshine?
It seemed depressing.
Oh my god, it's like one of my favorite all-time
Yeah, it's like
movies.
sad though,
no,
right?
but it's beautiful.
Eh.
It's literally a
I'm
comedy.
I'm gonna watch
it's
The
a dark.
Mask again. If I want to see
It's a
Jim
dark
Carrey, I'm gonna watch Ace Ventura.
It's a dark comedy because it's about basically like a couple, like in a world where like you can erase your partner from your memory.
Yeah, what? Because
And so one of
depressed.
them erases the other one without them telling
Yeah,
them.
I know what it's about.
Oh hey.
Because it sounds so sad. Why would you do that?
Oh my god, you don't think trauma?
You don't want. Well, I mean, you have to learn from your life experiences. You can't get rid of it.
Yeah, but you also can
It's the
heal.
moral.
Thank you. Yes.
Let's
How
ask,
are you
let's
ever gonna-
ask people with trauma that though, like especially like dark trauma. This relationship's not that bad, but like if you could erase someone who inflicted pain on you in a very bad, non-consensual way, I think a lot of victims of that would be like,
would choose to
"Fuck
do that.
yeah."
But
I
then
will
wouldn't
never
they
forget
still
that.
have? But the whole thing is like he keeps going back to her, right? Because he doesn't know.
Well, no,
Yes.
like she kind of migrates to him. And it's only once. Like it doesn't keep going. It's just like once. And then so he's like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna do it too. And then you go see his memories of her. And then do you want me to ruin it for you?
I mean,
They end up together at the end. They still find each other at the end. So it's like this beautiful thing where it's like, wow, you erased each other. Both of you did. You both tried really hard in your head to not let it actually happen. And then you still found each other in the end. It's like they're meant to be.
And they've forgotten it's fresh and brand new.
Yeah, it's fresh and brand new. And then they also can like look back on their trauma and be like, wow, I can't believe I said that. It's kind of like Poor Things too, in a way where it's like she starts over from being, and then she sees who she was. And she's like, what the fuck? I was that girl.
could you ever move on in the cyclical suffering thing if you just keep erasing your trauma, though?
Mm,
You know,
Well,
yeah, with the
but-
Buddhist thing.
probably not.
But this is a fake world.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay, yeah, okay,
I
maybe
know,
I'm.
like, this isn't real.
Did you think we're talking about a real
But
person?
Mark Ruffalo is Kristen Dunst's new boyfriend. And he goes in and he's one of the guys like we were talking about at that full circle, right? But like he goes in and like is the one erasing Jim Carrey's memories. And then while he's doing it, Elijah Wood is over there and he's like, dude, I've been talking to that girl who just got. So Elijah Wood's like a total creep. And then he's like, you're a creep, dude. You're fucking like going after this girl by using her old memory box. Like he takes her stuff. And Mark Ruffalo was like, you're gross, even though he's dating Kristen Dunst, who just had her memory wiped too.
Yeah.
But I know that's less crazy. But at some point, you'd have to bring it up like, hey, the reason you like that doctor is because you guys have a past and you erased him. And like, I know about this. It's like a weird thing knowing that against your partner, right? But he's very cute in it. They dance in their underwear and they're both pretty hot in it.
Oh, yeah, Mark.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
She's
how
just
this how it all
over here
started.
For the listener,
Thinking
she
about
was
Mark
just
Ruffalo.
looking at a Mark Ruffalo magazine. I'm just kidding. Oh yeah. No, he's very cute. He's also cute as the Hulk.
Yeah, no, totally. I saw him in The Cut.
What's that?
It's a very sexy mystery, and he plays a hot cop, and you see his penis in it.
Whoa.
I love it. I love to see the shaft.
You love when they're cool enough to reveal it. Like Willem Dafoe was like so modest. He was like, "Let's make mine look a little smaller." Is he British? I don't know.
I think he's American.
Let's make it a little smaller.
Mine's just such a huge bucket. Wang.
I know. I can't believe. I mean, it's
It'll
always
make it a
tiny guys
porno.
like that. They always have big dicks.
In the Cut,
Not
2003.
In the
Not always.
cut. Is that a
Yes.
like cut, like my cut? Like people call their pussy a cut.
I think it's more like
Or I'm thinking slit.
I think the phrase "in the cut" means we're hiding out.
We're hiding out.
Yeah.
Ooh,
staying
he's
low.
all like, this is all 90s or early 2000s.
2003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's that haircut.
Mm-hmm.
I love his little like me face expression. He also is pro-Palestine. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, is he really?
Mhm, yeah.
Yes.
He's been.
Oh, yeah, baby.
She's
She's
like, green flag.
Another
green flag,
reason
green,
we're meant to be.
green light.
Fuck me like a rag doll with the brain of a toddler. It's not even recording me right now.
Yes, they're all recording at once. It's not.
Fuck me with the brain of a toddler. Look-a-doo-doo-doo.
You poor thing.
You poor thing. I'll take you. I'll take care of you.
Is that what he? Yeah. Anyway, that's
just
what I was getting at.
I just
is,
bought the book. I just bought the book.
It's a book?
Yes, Poor Things is based off a book. I
no,
found
they made
out.
the movie into a book.
No, it's actually a book.
They wrote a
They
book
do
based on
that.
the
They
movie.
Yeah.
do that. Every time I'm at Barnes and Noble, and I'm like, why? Like, is it the same exact stuff?
For people who can't see Katie,
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think that's why.
I don't
It's not advertised as.
Damn.
know. Yeah.
But they do have ways for them to do it, and that's probably one of them.
Books. So Mark Ruffalo, okay, so I've been getting a lot of things on my
Sorry.
Instagram of people like girls who read fantasy novels, and they're being like, "Oh, I told my dentist to call me a good girl or something." Is that like?
That's a fantasy?
Yeah,
Is
it's like
that
a
like
fantasy.
50
We're
Shades
talking
of
about
Grey?
porn things and
Ooh.
like
Is it 50
being
Shades
called-
of Grey?
No,
I
it's
haven't
like
read
fantasy romance fantasy books.
Okay. I mean,
And so
good
they're like, I
girl.
like being called a good girl.
Mm.
And I asked my wife, I was like, "Do you think that's something you're into?" She's like, "No."
Yeah,
Do you want
probably
me-
not.
She's like, "Do you want me to call you a good boy?" And I was like, she's like, "What about a bad boy?" I was like, "I'm a bad boy."
Maybe
Yeah.
But like I'm a bad, like like bad to the bone kind of thing. Not like I did
do
bad.
joke
I don't
around
like
with
that,
Brad.
but I like
I
you
call
know.
Brad a little baby. I'm like, you a little baby.
And his dick gets hard. And you say that?
I mean, that's not our foreplay. It's our cute. There's cute play, and then there's like the foreplay.
Ink.
But
And
we do
he's
get
hard the whole
weird.
time.
He looks like Baby Finn, doesn't he? From
What?
Adventure Time.
Never saw it.
Is that the main character?
Yes, but when he's a baby, look up YouTube. I'm a buff baby that can dance like a man. That's what
It's
we
very
sing it together.
specific.
It looks like Brad, like since he's like gotten more. Brad's been like working out, but he's also gained some weight, so he's like a buff baby bod. But I love it.
I'm a buff baby.
It's also something we call a dad bod, but
I'm a buff baby that can dance like a man.
yes,
I can shake a my fanny, I can shake a my can. I'm a tough tootin' baby, I can punch in your buns. Punch in your buns, I can punch all your buns. If you're an evil witch, I will punch you for fun.
isn't that the cutest?
It is cute.
It's so cute.
See what you're saying.
Yeah,
And that does it for you, huh?
I'm weird as fuck.
I think it goes against, like, again, I was trying to do this joke about how, like, I have no idea what women find attractive
Mhm.
because that's not what I would go for. I was like,
You're wanting cool shit.
Yeah, I
You're
was
like
like, I
thinking
gotta
like
be-
gunslinger.
sure, yeah. I'm thinking, like,
I know that because you wanted a tattoo of it,
Yeah.
and so I was like,
I was thinking,
"That's
like,
your cool
yeah, for real.
house."
yeah. Yeah, I've always been trying to be cool. And I think maybe I should have just been being a goof, huh?
Oh yeah, I
'Cause
love goofy. I just
I
love
was-
people at their rawest form of themselves. Like when you. That's why I loved you on my podcast because you would unfilteredly be like, "That's fucked up," you know. And I'm like, it was like this fun. It was hilarious. But that's you being you. You're like, I hate horror, and I'm not going to pretend like I like it.
But you want a cool Mark Ruffalo, huh, Haley?
I think Mark Ruffalo's
Mark-
a
wants
silly
a
guy,
cool
right?
Mark
Like,
I know. I did love that because his silly moments and
no,
him
he was cute in it.
playing
yeah.
a silly goober and doing like the silly
In the hall?
dancing.
When he touches her clitoris, it's honestly like you feel that when you're watching the screen. when he's like, "Boop," and she's like, "We must go." That scene in itself is like so funny and horny and
It's
silly.
It's
very
relatable.
silly.
I've fallen for a fuckboy too, because a silly
Yeah.
fuckboy.
Yeah.
Like
And then-
silly fuckboy. That's the thing. I was trying to.
He's
And
not
he's not
silly.
Arabian. He's not Arabian. I was just kidding.
He's not silly,
He's silly fuckboy.
but
That's what
it's.
he
I
is.
guess he doesn't know that she's a toddler.
Because he doesn't know. Yeah, he's just
Oh,
like,
yeah, who
wow, this is exactly what I want. Like a dumb lady.
A dumb hot babe.
Yeah. That I can convince. Like he throws her books into the water. It's so funny. I love that whole scene where like she gets like starts to learn things and he's like, what? It's just great. Everyone in that scene, perfect acting.
Yeah, I was framing the joke with like, oh, who you think's the sexiest Batman? And I think
Michael
people aren't
Keaton.
saying Michael Keaton, yeah, and I'd be like, no, Val Kilmer. Like I've always been trying to be Val Kilmer, but
Michael
like my wife
Keaton's
thinks
just so
Michael Keaton's the
funny.
funny. Yeah,
Michael Keaton is funny and hot as Beetlejuice in a way.
but that's not Batman. Beetlejuice not Batman.
I think
more
he
the
has
Joker.
that. He has an everyday man look where you're like, I could probably actually have a conversation with Michael Keaton without
Yeah.
being like deeply self-conscious of
Yeah.
how I'm not like a babe.
But Val
Or
Kilmer, you're thinking
Jack
I
Nicholson
don't
too.
know.
Like that whole
Maybe when he's
cast,
sick.
Jack Nicholson also as the Joker, very hot. When he's
as
like
the Joker,
Who?
Jack
Jack
Nicholson.
Nicholson. Oh my god, he's great. He's so funny. Also, he is hot again in that same realm of like I could have a conversation.
Right.
with him. And I also read in Gina Davis's book that he
Ooh,
like
that'd be an interesting one.
he just
Yeah.
sounds like a fun person.
He was a fuck boy.
He was.
Yeah, Jack Nicholson,
Of
notorious
course.
fuck man.
Like Bill Murray, all those guys look like fuckboys.
Hmm.
Bill Murray like sounds like he was abusive. He's also in her book, unfortunately.
really? That's too bad.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like not to the point of like I haven't heard anything like to the point of like that's but I've heard like he has been very rude to women on set. And kind of sees like, "Oh, can you hang? Do you mind if can I touch you? Do you mind if I do this?"
Ah!
And like he's like, "Oh, she can't hang.
She
Just let you when she
can't.
gets her titty grabbed."
I wasn't expecting you to
Oh,
touch
I'm
my
so
boob.
sorry.
No,
I'm so
it's-
sorry. But that's like, but that's
Yeah,
like
no,
how
yeah,
he
yeah.
was. That's how
Sure,
they
sure.
describe him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes me so sad because like I loved him as a kid, and I'm like,
Yeah.
you out here just grabbing titties like that,
I know, it's sad.
or like he would like have temper tantrums on them,
Mm.
which is so common in like I feel like a lot of male performers from
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like it's getting better, but like early 2000s and back. They're all like on their high horse, like treating people on set like Mel Gibson. And to me, it's like it is like baby, like
I
it's
like
like
Mel
that's
Gibson
so
a lot.
baby, you know.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson.
I loved Mel Gibson.
That shit. I'm really sorry
You
for
loved
doing
him?
that.
Dude, yeah,
I'm
he was
so
great.
sorry.
Riggs, tough guy, kind of funny.
You're done with him though, right? Get over him.
I watch Lethal Weapon every now and then.
He's anti-Semitic, right?
Hold on. I'm really sorry that I
No.
touched your.
No. It was funny.
I
I can hang.
If it's funny.
It is. I did what I was like hating that he did, and I was like, I'm so
Well,
sorry.
you did ask for consent. I mean,
You
like,
did,
I'm
you
not
did.
saying
I
it's
guess
okay. I'm just,
I
but I
should've been
mean,
like, "Can I
like,
touch
you're
your
not
boob?" I
exactly
should've
doing
said
the
I
same
should-
thing.
Can I touch your boob?
Yeah,
And I feel
I'll do
bad
that.
about that.
No,
now.
I've touched
I
your
just
butt.
wanna- yeah.
Got real close to your
Good.
vagina.
Yes.
Not on this podcast.
Leave it for the other pod.
That's on the Patreon. No. Sorry.
Wait, what were you guys talking about again? Oh yeah,
Mel
Mel Gibson. Dude, I read what he
Problematic,
said.
yes.
What he said to his like ex-wife was like crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
they're
that's not
very
good.
baby. There's this like, I mean, before women started being like, no, I'm gonna go to work too. You're gonna take care of. Like before that, it was like very baby-esque for taking care of a man. Like they're like, oh, we're gonna do your laundry, and like, oh, we're gonna cook you food, and then like, the guy, women weren't allowed to say no to sex until very recently. I didn't know that, but like it had to be taken to court. Like they were like, he's like, oh, I want sex. I have it now. And like Aaliyah's like, I don't feel like it. And it was like, that's not legal. You're my wife. You're my property. And so,
That's
Mel
not
Gibson-
legal. The idea of saying that is just so absurd. That's just like so
but
crazy.
it's just funny. Like Mel Gibson, like
am
when
the
they remind me of babies when they go off like that. Like he was like,
yeah. He had
I
like a tantrum.
deserve a blowjob. I was like, if a guy said that to me, then I would have been like, then go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like you
I've
ain't
seen
gonna,
that porn too,
The guy
Yeah.
blowing
where
up.
they blow.
Speaking of fucking yourself, I was looking at like sex toys with Brad, and I was like, "Do you want anything?" And he like pointed to my pussy and was like, "I got that." It made me laugh
That's
so
funny.
fucking
That is funny.
hard.
That is good.
Aw,
But that was very sweet. But I was like, "You don't
Good
want to
guy. Good
explore
guy.
the joys of a fleshlight?" If I had a dick, I would totally get a fleshlight.
Hmm. You
It's
have a
not
flashlight?
better than the real thing though. Someone who
tried it?
has both,
You have both,
not as good.
really?
But I
Hmm.
would try it, you know. And I'm like,
Yeah,
"You
I
don't
guess
want to
I'd wanna
try?
try it.
You don't want to try it? Yeah, I guess I would." But yeah, of course, I would try.
Would
a
you
lot
feel
of-
weird if your partner had a fleshlight? Because I think my wife's is against it.
Really?
She doesn't.
Not a
She wouldn't
fan.
like it if I had it in my drawer next to me.
Mm.
I don't think anything sexual. I'm like, you know,
Don't
there's a sex. There is
Or like a
shame.
big
There is
doll.
shame in sex, and you shouldn't
Big
shame
doll.
people for what they like.
Right.
That's where I stand.
The thing I liked about Dave, have you seen that? He has like a sex doll, and his partner's very like not shaming him for it. And I was like, wow, this is so progressive.
Yeah, like I totally would probably try to fuck a sex doll.
She was
if
all
I had to
like,
be
wow,
in
look at those tits. Yeah, those are good. You know, like
it.
she's like very not into it like sexually, but she's like not. She's just like, yeah, I can see why you like that.
She's trying to yes end.
Yeah.
She's like, oh yeah.
The jiggly one, big one that he has. That's
In Dave?
yeah, and Dave.
Yeah,
That was-
before he
I
gets
haven't
rich.
seen Dave yet, but I heard it's amazing.
I didn't watch more.
You stopped after that. You're
I
like,
did.
I'm out. I'm so disgusted by guys getting sex dolls.
I'm so sick. Of
I'm more like
men's sex
disgusted by like
rights.
certain things. Wait, what did you say?
I hate that men have rights and that they have sex at all.
What if we got you a
If
big
for
Mark
anything to
Ruffalo
be
doll?
okay.
Well, it'd be like,
I'm like, okay. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't put myself in
Would
men's
you guys-
shoes as much
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, put yourself in there.
in their shoes.
I have a pair if you want to try them on.
Yeah?
Pair of Red Wing boots.
Oh, yes.
If you want to try them on.
Walk around for a day.
Yeah.
Wait, this
Probably
is
hurt your
fucking
feet.
easy.
Yes. I wait, I think I lost my train of thought. I had
Talking about
something.
sex stuff, and you're saying you don't shame it. You
Vibrator.
Oh,
Right,
would you guys have sex with one of the Westworld robots?
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, you didn't? The first season's
Okay, but if
amazing,
they're
and then
like
it turns into something weird.
A robot. Would you have
Real.
sex with it?
But they're like
Sure.
fully
Thank you.
look great. Like they're hot robots.
Fully believable.
I wish there was like a gay part to it where there could be like different, like there's a bear sex robot, because I also like a bear form, obviously. And it would just be funny if they had like thicker robots to have sex
Yeah.
with, because they're all like HBO actors
Right.
as robots. So it's like, all right, everyone on here is like very good looking. It's like all 10s, just all 10s. But I'm like, I would love to see like other versions.
You'd rather not. So you'd not want to fuck a 10 every now and then?
I mean, I
It's
would,
like the
but I'd also
novelty
like to
toy.
get a little bear action in here, or like if there was a Lizzo robot, I would have sex with it. Lizzo, I love you, and I hope that's okay to say, and I'm sorry. But,
But I would
yes,
fuck
of
you.
course. Yeah. I just mean like if you had like an option of like a body type, like I think she has a beautiful body.
Sure.
And I think there's all kinds of big bodies that I would hook up with. But
Mhm.
I'm also a pansexual. The robot has to be into the weird shit that I'm into too.
Mm. Yeah, that's the whole thing about it, right? The robots don't consent.
One, it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, they can't.
They are like raping the robots, I guess, right? Like
yeah, I mean, that's a big part of like some of those fantasies.
Yeah.
It's like you are like raping.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
in Westworld, it's like they are like taking advantage of them.
And I guess it's like a metaphor for like how people treat people in certain societies too,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
sad. But
It's all a metaphor, Haley. So
but
it's
Anthony
fine.
Hopkins is in the first season, and it's really great.
And the second one.
Oh yeah, he's in it like a little bit.
Spoilers. Haley's gonna watch all
but
of it.
turns
I
into
am.
it gets crazy though. Like after the second or third.
Did the
I
Greeks
think-
ruin that for you too, Westworld?
I don't know yet. Maybe.
Oh wait, I might have got this YouTube.
Was this the guy? This is the guy before your current guy, right?
College, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Way before. Yeah.
Avatar, way back. You
Way
still
back
can't
when.
forgive and forget.
No. It's when the movie
Damn.
came out. Like
Yeah, the
bad
movie wasn't
movie.
good.
M. Night
Yeah, the
Shyamalan.
movie wasn't great, but you know,
M. Night Shyamalan movies are
Shamalama Ding Dong.
so funny.
Those are the scariest movies I've ever seen.
Did you see
Best-
Old?
The height of horror
Did you see
never got better.
Old?
No.
Old.
I watched Old on like an eighth of mushrooms,
Oh,
and I was like,
Old
"Is it me,
boy?
or do their faces look different?" And it turns out they're like all these people
It's
that are
their
aging
faces.
really quickly,
Yes.
Turns out it's their faces.
which is very much like mushrooms. Like their faces are like CGI'd on these like baby. It's
Right,
crazy.
Right.
But yeah,
Not a bad one.
Whew.
it's not a bad one. That one I actually thought was cool and interesting. And how like little the twist was. Like it was like, oh, they're just like practicing on all these humans to figure out medications.
So let's switch gears a little bit.
Yeah. We almost got
You just
that nightmare.
almost
feeling.
got it.
I don't-
Wait,
I'm
you
waiting
didn't
for
get
him
it?
Well, he was like, oh, the animated one. And I was like, yes.
Uh,
Don't worry, you can handle it. It's not real. It's like, it's.
yeah,
also-
I know all those movies aren't real, Katie, but Jesus Christ.
No, but this is like not even humans. Like it's like it looks like a
I-
video game. Oh my god, it's Elon Musk. Okay. Look up this.
We're switching
YouTube-
gears.
Can we just just look up with an X Elon. It's Elon, but like XELON. Okay, this is we don't have to watch the whole thing.
And when are you
but
going to put your first man
see,
on
it's like
the
a video
planet?
game.
Best case, 10 years. Worst case, 15. I mean, my guess for when we will have full autonomy is about 3 years. And it's like I said, the Earth-Mars orbital rendezvous is only every 26 months. We should be able to launch people probably in 2024 with arrival in 2025. I feel very confident predicting autonomous robotaxis for Tesla next year
So
with
like
no one in them next year.
this is
Mark my
like
words. So buying a Model 3 is a
video
good deal.
games.
It's financially
just
insane
move forward.
to buy anything other than a Tesla.
Okay.
It'll be like owning a horse in 3 years. Mark my words. So all these things.
Yeah. So he becomes crazy, and then like these are this is like a joke about X.
Seriously, yeah.
War is less depressing.
Yeah, I'd rather go out with a bang.
Yeah, and with your shoes on.
Yeah,
Not with your
more
diapers on.
exciting.
Yeah.
And these are the people that like him.
Look in the sky. I can see it from here. Phobos. He was right after all of these years. Thank you, Elon.
Okay, this is so funny. This is why she's like
Boss,
look
I
at
looked into why your metrics are down. It looks like people are just losing interest in your account. Advertisers are fleeing due to the infestation issue. It's not looking good, sir.
he's all Hellraiser.
Please, can I see my family again?
Okay, that's enough. Oh my god. It makes me laugh so hard. That there's like this whole side of people that are like using animation like that to be like, this is what he is. He's just like the boss in a video game. It's just like turning people into worm bags.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. Yeah, that's
But that wasn't scary, right? Like that
I
was.
mean, it wasn't-
It's like weird. It's more weird than anything, right? But it's
yeah.
still.
A little disturbing. A little.
It's disturbing, but
Thank
it's
you.
so funny. I just love. I mean, it is satirical in a way. They're like, this is what he is. The like plugins on his back remind me of Hellraiser too. When like the doctor who wants to he wants to see what the multiverse is like, and then he gets taken down to hell, and then they like make him into a Cenobite, and they like plug all these things into him, and then like pull his skin back like that. So it's like. I see where their influence is coming from. It's hilarious. It's so intense, though.
Yeah, it's very intense. Yeah.
So that's what I saw in Detroit.
So you recorded a special not too long ago. How's that going?
I got really depressed after recording it because it went so well that I was like,
You watched this?
What'd you say?
You got really depressed and you watched this?
And I watched this.
This probably isn't helping.
Oh my god. Well, it was good, it's great. And then like once it's over, you're like, okay.
Yeah, it's like building up to Christmas. You were doing a lot of work. You had a single focus
Yes.
thing,
Yeah, I always get like that once things move on, like a graduation from whatever. Like I always was like, oh man. When I moved to Colorado, I was like sobbing and so dramatic. And like I was so sad I was leaving my boyfriend at the time, and like looking back on it, I'm like, God.
Dodged a bullet.
So good that you got out of there. And so it's like, it's fine, it's just like a creative, it's like a big, and you have to wait for it to be edited, right? So like, I just haven't got the payoff of the whole thing yet. And so I think once I was done, I was like, okay, we're going to write all new. And then I bombed some shows for sure. And then I was like, okay. And then like everyone who's like been through that part, they're like, no, like you can do your old jokes before it comes out, and like you just like slowly intertwine new and get rid of the old, but you don't need to have a new hour in like the day after you record. And I think I was like working on stuff at Mike's before, so I had some stuff to work on, but I was just being so hard on myself, and I was like, okay, just calm down. You're such a perfectionist. But it's also because of my parenting style growing up. It's very hard to impress my parents. So I was like, and we just got to keep going. And it's like, no, just chill out. Just chill out. So since I've said that to myself, it's been a lot better. But it's been weird.
Still depressed?
I'm going through all this like job shit right now where like these families got dropped by Medicaid and had to reapply for these agencies. And in the process of it, one family did not come through because her kid's about to turn 18. So like the kids agency that I work for doesn't suit adults. So I get onboarded with another agency, and it's like way more work for less money. And I was just like, oh my God, I just want to get paid. And this was like for hours of work that I had already worked, then I wasn't getting paid. So like February, I was like not making any money, but working. And then I finally am about to get paid for everything. But like I've been like on such a tight budget since like the beginning of February. And I mean, it really also was like, okay, let's start looking for a new job because I just can't have that happen again. And it was like the one thing about contract work that I was like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like,
right.
And contract work's amazing when it like you're have work coming from everywhere. But if like something like that happens, and it just so happened that two of the kids that I work with the most, they got dropped. So like all those hours. And then I did my taxes recently.
Oh God.
And they fucking
that'll depress you.
Yes, and they fucking dropped. Well, I tried to do my taxes while watching Oppenheimer, and
oh my God. Okay.
and I was like, I'm gonna explode. Like,
just like the
I'm a bomb now.
I'm gonna explode. I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
You're like one
I'm
of those
not building up to it.
Those worm bags.
You're going to the bathroom?
Okay, back at it here. We all did a little potty break.
Yes.
We needed it, you know.
Just a little party.
So you're coming out of your depression, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Taxes are done. You don't have to worry about it
It's so
anymore.
crazy. They just took my taxes out like the next day.
Of your bank account?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they don't fuck around.
I thought it was going to be like on my credit card, and then I guess I missed something that's like they can't take it out of your credit card, even though it's like I'm going to transfer that over from my credit card, you know?
No, they can't take taxes out of your credit
Yeah.
because
Well,
it's not real.
yeah, but it's like,
Thanks.
this is still going to cause me debt either way that I have to pay off. Like, and then I'm getting some money back, which will even it out. But like, I wasn't expecting it to be also like the next day they're taking all this money out. And so my checking account is really low again right now. And I'm like, God damn it. It's just so boring because you're like, I can't
How
do
can we make
anything.
money? We can start stealing Cadillac converters.
Yeah.
Cadillac converters, catalytic converters.
Yeah.
Could strip houses of copper, not strip our bodies.
I'm like,
on stage.
can I take pictures of my feet? Like, what's up with the feet?
Do you think your feet are
I have some pretty
gonna
nice
make some money?
feet.
Okay? That's good. I like the
I
confidence.
have a natural.
I like the confidence.
I have a natural foot going on.
Good art.
No implants here.
I got put on that foot website without my consent, and
How
I
did
found
they-
out I have mediocre feet. Foot
Wow.
website.
Mine are a little flat,
Mine are very
but the
flat.
nails
Wow.
look
Everyone
okay.
likes a big arch. People like a big arch,
They
I think.
do, yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
especially-
I'm not
it
into
seems-
feet,
You know,
so I don't know
people
what
like
the.
arches. My sister tried to make fun of me about that, and I was like, it's feet. Why do we care?
She's like, way to yes and me, Katie.
But I don't like nail polish because it's bad for your nails. And from what I understand, it can cause like infections and stuff. So I take care of my natural. But some people are like, I can't stand my
They want
toenail showing.
a
So they
slutty
might hate
nail
that.
color. What's a slutty toenail color?
A slutty nail color.
Like green.
Mm,
No, that's like
that's
sophisticated.
like more of a like Nickelodeon vibe.
Yeah,
I was thinking like a forest green, not like
I-
a gack green.
I was thinking
Forest
like
green.
slime.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's so funny.
Forest green seems like old lady. I
Yeah.
don't know, or like punk.
Yeah, it could be
Punky.
punk or old lady. A slut like a vagina pink.
Salmon.
Salmon. Salmon's like, wow.
Or
Those feet are
like
DTF.
A fleshy, like a flesh color, I feel like would be a little slutty. Because it's like nude. I don't know.
Yeah.
And like obviously dark red, but dark red can also be fancy. That's the hard.
Yeah. Those feet are going out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can also have black nail polish, kind of giving
Heck
off
yeah,
a
real
little,
goth.
Oh,
Real
giving
goth.
off a little DP vibe. Just kidding. I'm just picturing like a gothic girl doing
Doing
Doing DP.
And maybe they don't, but the ones that I used to watch.
Sure used to.
Oh.
Okay.
So when's the special coming out?
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I
don't
meet
know.
with Nick finally.
Who's Nick?
Nick Homble.
He's editing.
Is he the IDK guy?
Yes, and he's editing.
I tried to get him
and
on
everything.
twice or 3 times, I think.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, he's canceled both times and not talked about redoing or rescheduling. So
Oh yeah.
I was like, I can take a hint.
He probably just is like all over. He's super nice, but he's just got like I think he videotapes like a lot of stuff, and he does a lot of podcasts.
Yeah, they're doing
recording.
like Dead Room there now. Hannah Jones' podcast is there now.
Yes.
I mean, I have no idea how he's making money. Because I mean, all this stuff is
the
like,
podcasting is like how they make money. They charge for the studio
sure.
space.
But he has like one podcast that he does there. Or how many podcasts?
I think they have about 4 right
Oh,
now,
okay.
and each one is like 3. Like they have different packages. You can pay like $350 a month, $450 a month, or like $650 a month, and you get certain services each tier. But so that helps, and then they also take a percentage ticket sales for shows to help pay rent, and then
Right.
and then I mean, he's got podcasting, videoing, photography, and just sound work. and he gets paid like contract work for different artists or whoever needs him for events and stuff too. So he probably makes a pretty good amount. Everyone needs all those things, you know. It's a good game to get into.
I mean, if you have the equipment, it's
But he does. He's got it all.
yeah.
It's a great
yeah.
space.
Then you have to listen to those people.
Well, that's why he has them pay him.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not fucking listening to you.
Record
Can't
with
pay
us.
me to
There we
listen
go,
to
there's
you.
Yeah,
basic.
basics $250 a month. Premium
Wow.
Yeah, it's smart. It's good.
Fancy.
footage editing, branding.
And Morgan works with
episodes,
them too.
equipment.
So they do stuff together.
Ooh,
Or
$400
they
a
edit
month.
projects together.
I don't want to accept cookies.
Are cookies bad? Watching your intake caloric.
What is
intake?
the cookies? Why are they bad?
It's just shit that pops up on your computer, I think.
Oh.
And I don't want to accept it. Yeah, Dictopia. Chicken Nugget and the Nugget. Hannah Jones's podcast. Recovering with Andy Main. Cash. I don't know who this person is. Afternoon Cup. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. All right. Okay. I can see him making some money off
Coffee.
these.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, so I listen to Help with Hannah Jones the most, and they do have a sponsorship with some Indian food place.
Cool.
But I'm like, do you really like it though? Do you really?
Indian.
Hey, you gotta get those
Yeah.
sponsors where you get them.
Yeah.
It's hard getting a
Showing the
sponsor.
fun of it.
Oh yeah, you're telling me.
It's crazy.
Uh,
I feel like they're always like we had one for the Call to Arms show for a little bit, and then he wasn't in a place that he could do it. But he was like I think an attorney that was like, I'll give you guys the money. And
ooh, an
give you the spot."
attorney. Yeah.
So we would, and it's like that's so random, but like he's down to put money towards comedy.
Yeah. I've heard some people talking about the podcast bubbles bursting, like all the money that was coming into it, like corporate people wanting to advertise and stuff with you, like that's like not around anymore. Like I guess CPR had to let go of a bunch of people recently.
Oh wow.
So, but I think good, get all those people out, they were never really into podcasting anyway. So
Yeah.
not like me. I've been around forever.
E.
and ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ain't going
Yeah.
nowhere.
Do you remember the first time you were on?
I think a lot of
Haley?
podcasts make a lot of money from Patreons. Is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I was on the
Tim
Help Me
Dillon
I'm Scared Patreon. Or not
Patreon.
Help. Help Me I'm Scared.
Sorry.
Help with Hannah Jones. Not worth it. Oh, sorry.
Wait,
I have
what?
no comment.
Have you been on it?
No, I just
Then you can't. Then you shouldn't have a
I
comment.
have no comment.
I've been on it.
On Help?
Yeah. Well, not on the podcast. I've been on
Some
the Patreon.
hey, people
Oh,
love her.
Yeah.
But I noticed Tim Dillon's Patreon is like $100,000 a month or something.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah. If
I
you
know,
got
isn't that
Tim
amazing?
Dillon money coming in.
He's showing whole or something?
Who
People
knows?
just think he's really funny.
That's
But also, I mean,
That
it's
people think he's funny?
amazing. People think he's funny. Like, well, I mean, he is very funny and he's like, I like him because he's also an independent thinker.
It's like very
He, like,
aggressive.
right
I
wing.
feel like.
What?
Well, he's a New Yorker.
Is that
He's a queer New Yorker.
so? It's fine.
Isn't he right wing
Have you been
adjacent?
to New York?
He's like
Once,
Joe
yeah.
Rogan adjacent, right?
Yes.
No, he's been on Joe
Yes.
Rogan a few times, but
Then
he has.
yes.
He's no like. He's not. But he's not like.
He's
Mark
gay, so
Ruffalo's
it's
been on
fine.
Joe
He's
Rogan.
like still.
What?
No, just-
Not mine.
talking
Mark
about this-
Ruffalo.
okay,
In the cut.
I was talking about this with another friend, and I won't name him because I don't want him to be like, "Hey,
Why not?
everyone hates me
we
now."
name names on this
But we were
pod.
talking about how, like, I do wish more people would go on there to challenge those guys and stuff
Oh.
like that. And like, we were talking about, he was like, I just feel like if more people went on there and represented like liberal sides of things, you would break up their fans a little bit. And isn't that the point? Is that we want to break it up
fandoms.
and make it more like change the way people think?
That was a great point. Beep just made.
Thank you. But
trying
it's
to think of a
hard. It's
name. I
hard. You
couldn't
know,
think of
some people are like, you got to boycott everything. But then that's how we're in this place where people are like, Trump's going to save the world. It's like, how do they think that? You know, but they're in a little bubble. That's all they see is
Yeah.
like
Just like us.
Trump and like a muscle. You know what's crazy is that, okay, during the Roman Empire, Augustus was like one of the best empires of the Roman Empire.
Okay.
The further you got away from central Rome, the more he was depicted in artwork as a god. And like that is exactly what's happening with Trump, which is sad, but true. Like the further south you go, you're going to see Trump and he's going to be like on a dolphin, like fucking his face is cropped onto like a muscle body. And I'm like, here we are, like thousands of years later, just being the same old idiots we always were.
How often do you think about the Roman Empire?
All the time.
Haley?
I'm thinking about it.
You're non-binary, so you should be there. Just kidding. I think I'm like
Not an ally.
femme leaning non-binary. Like I'm a little bit of both, but that's the high testosterone in me. But I studied the Roman Empire in college, so it's not just men that are into it. Okay, it's pussies too.
That's a clip. We got it. We got our clip.
In the bag.
I actually was like obsessed with it, and that was when I was still taking like my Adderall and Vyvanse. So I think I was like really obsessed about the Roman Empire, and I was taking like 120 milligrams prescribed of Vyvanse a day, and then he was like, "It's probably gonna wear off at the end of the day, so we'll get you some 20 milligram instant release Adderalls." So that's like a lot.
That drove me crazy.
And and I was like, do you know what these fucking forms of these buildings were like? Like I was just going, I would get off or get out of class and just like be like, guess what I learned today? And my friend's like, oh my God. Like I can't tell if she was really into it or not. Cause she'd be like, I love how you are so into the Roman Empire. But like Pompeii, I'm obsessed with Pompeii. I actually have a reminder in my phone.
To remember Pompeii. Think
Ding,
about
ding.
it. Have you thought about it today?
I think about it all the time. I have a reminder for the day that the volcano exploded years
Gotcha.
ago.
You just like pray for them
August 20, I think it's August 25th.
on that day.
Let's look it up. No, I just like zone out probably and just think about how scary it was.
So where you go to the
No,
lake
it's
and you
August
just think
28th.
about it? You just stare
No,
into the
August
water.
28th?
Like,
Oh,
I just get
no.
in the lake and I'd be fine.
Yeah, I run into the lake with my phone.
Yeah. I go out to the lake.
You just stare
Think
out thinking about Pompeii and
Okay, August 24th. I was wrong, you guys. I got it's COVID. I blame
August
COVID.
24th.
August 24th, 2 p.m.
What year?
Volcano erupted.
1849.
It was actually.
I think it was a little earlier than that.
Wait,
Is this history class now?
Pompeii. Yeah, isn't it fun? Okay, wait.
I really liked Chernobyl before they made the movie. Okay. The show.
They're not kidding. Pompeii.
I wanted to be a Chernobyl firefighter for Halloween.
I thought you were gonna say in real life.
Firefighter.
But they're like, that won't happen again. We don't need people like you.
Okay,
So be a
so
comic.
79 AD after death. They say when
79? Wow, I was really
So-
off.
it was, yeah, it was very
Yeah, a
far
little,
back.
little off.
It was so far back that when the volcano erupted, Plinius the Elder literally was like writing in his journal that like he was like, the gods are punishing us. Like, imagine thinking that was the gods. I guess people still think that way these days,
I might.
but it seems more scarier now. I'm like, oh my God. I can't imagine believing that's a god. Like, but it was, they didn't.
Personal.
Yeah.
It's
So
like,
we're going to switch gears a little bit.
No, you guys don't like history.
No, I like it.
I'm joking.
I'm just thinking.
I know. What do you want to switch to? Let's switch
Well,
to
like,
Haley.
We're going into spring here. What should we be focusing on? What should we be doing? You were talking about Capricorn's times are over. I should just go kill myself.
You're done.
Because my time's over.
You're done.
I'm a Capricorn.
No, the revolutionary planet
Okay.
went from Capricorn to Aquarius.
What's the revolutionary planet? Mars?
Pluto?
Pluto.
Yeah.
TV.
The whole
This
generation.
podcast brought to you by Pluto TV.
Pluto TV, the streaming.
No, not the TV,
I like
the planet.
I like the little dog from Disney.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Goofy's
Pluto.
dog?
Pluto the dog, yeah.
Mhm. He's cute.
The dog's dog.
Mm-hmm.
So what about Pluto should we be thinking about?
We're breaking down old expectations and structures. We have new ones that are revolutionary.
Like volcanoes aren't the gods being mad at us kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
Right.
It's just science.
Science.
It's not because you're bad.
This isn't your fault. It's the tectonic plates.
Yeah. No, I've become way less woo-woo since Katie showed me a documentary
About
about Love
science.
Has Won.
Oh my god, really? You've been obsessed?
It was kind of a wake-up
What is
call.
that? What is it?
It's a
Explain it.
documentary. It's about a real lady
Okay.
who shares my same birthday for some reason.
Okay.
Like she's 9 years older.
That's a little
I
woo.
didn't know that.
Yes. We're both crazy Sages.
No, you're not that lady.
I am. If I hadn't seen the documentary, I would have been slurping down silver colloidal. It's like a QAnon
Colloidal
horror
silver.
story. Colloidal silver. It's like a QAnon hallucinogenic
She's also an alcoholic.
nightmare.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Well, she's just like a whole substance.
I don't see why that's any different from my story.
What's
I'm
it called?
borderline alcoholic.
You didn't love it? I thought Love Has
No,
Won was like one of my top favorite.
I loved it. Love
documentaries
It's
now.
called Love Has Won, and it's about this
You need
Sag,
to watch this.
crazy Sag who convinces a bunch of people. She gets really good drugs, which is
Did you go down a wormhole, like researching her afterwards?
yes, totally.
I haven't done that yet, but apparently they left a lot out.
They totally rebranded, and they have a new website, and they're still going. Like everybody in the
Yeah.
cult still believes it.
But what made you change your woo woo stuff? What was going on?
Oh, I was like getting really into
Buddhism?
that already happened. But at my work, my bosses are really into this like energy work that's like super duper woo woo. But this lady,
She's like appropriating all like holistic studies, though.
Nice.
but some of it I've like the crazy part about the docuseries is like the whole first episode, which is like 45 minutes. They don't say anything that I don't agree with.
Okay.
What?
But then later they're like, and we love Trump, and we think Robin Williams is an angel, and then I'm like, okay, you should have said that, because I'm watching it like, oh my god, this is my whole life story. I'm just like her. I love tripping and talking about like Ram Dass and like
I don't even think she was talking about Ram Dass though. In
she
this.
did have she followed a lot of Ram Dass
I think
like
yeah.
principles.
Haley would know about Ram Dass.
Yeah, I know. So do I.
You
But yeah,
know
she-
about video game horror stuff.
But she's
She
like,
knows
she's using drugs to
to
like.
fuel
That's
her.
the difference. Yeah, and it's QAnon. So when they're like, we
Yeah.
love Trump, I'm like, okay, I'm not like you, bitches.
So the thing that made you turn against all the woo woo stuff is that they said they were also into Trump.
Yeah, and QAnon and stuff like that. So I'm
Well-
like, there's the. But I relate a lot to her and her toxic boyfriends and tripping and wanting to be like I've gotten really trippy and my partner's like, you're scaring me, and I'm like, shut up! I'm an angel. I'm gonna go in the
You're
bathroom
not like
and talk
that.
to
I've
my
tripped with you before, though. You're not.
angels.
You're not like. You've never been like. I think I'm God.
No,
like
that's true.
she thinks she's God.
She
Like
does
this
think
lady
she's
thinks
God.
she's God. Which the only thing that I can humor is that God could be a woman, or a feminine spirit, whatever you would.
Right.
I would think God's non-binary though. That's where my brain goes because I'm like, God invented these gender constructs based on all these other things, but then in other religions, some people are intersex. So like, why would God be either?
Yeah, it is weird that she brings God into it because that's not very Ram Dass. Except it kind of is because
But
they
she's
believe in
also-
Krishna, like as
So you thought
God.
this was you saw yourself in it a little too much.
Yeah, when I
That's-
my spirituality
I'm so
side.
sorry.
No, it's good. I need to be grounded sometimes because Sometimes I'm
I
like,
feel bad now.
'Cause the
I
angels
was
in
like,
the
Haley, you're
bathroom.
gonna think this is the funniest thing.
scary. I do know a lot of people.
JD's not surprised. He's like, oh, Katie accidentally scaring people, accidentally fucking touching in a bad way, not expecting. I'm so sorry. I feel so.
No,
I'm like,
it's
I'm
fine.
like so mad that I
No.
grabbed your boob.
No, I
was, like,
shouldn't have
trying-
said anything.
I'm
I'm mad that
too.
I said something.
No. I'm mad that I didn't say, "Can I grab your boob?" Because I should have been more. If it was a boob, it's a little more than just like this,
Right.
right? And
Right.
I was like in the moment of being Mel Gibson. You know, I wasn't thinking. I was just being a man.
Taken by Mel.
Or what's his name? Bill Murray, not Mel Gibson.
Right.
Both
Yeah.
of them.
Bill Murray's the
both
real
of them.
monster, not Mel Gibson.
No, them.
It's okay
Mel
to watch Lethal
Gibson,
Weapon.
Bill Murray,
Leave him
Kevin
alone.
Spacey.
Not
Let's have a
Caddyshack.
real world of all three of them. I would love that.
So you would get high and then talk to angels in the bathroom.
Momentarily.
What were they saying?
We were just kissing.
Oh, so you weren't talking.
Kissing. Yeah, I just saw like a little pour drill and I went up and I kissed the angel.
Okay.
I was tripping.
And your boyfriend was like, "Well,
That's fucked up. Leave me out of this." I had a family member who had a schizophrenic kind of break too.
And so did partner, right?
Yeah, partner.
Yeah, which they do say, like, if a family member, it's like there's a genetic thing with like psychedelics, which can be scary. My friend in Portland doesn't do any drugs anymore because her family member has schizophrenia, and she's like, I'm just so scared of unlocking that in myself. And I was like, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Don't take this then. No, I'm kidding. But I was like, yeah, no, that's fair. And like after watching that documentary, the mushroom documentary, How to Take Your Drugs, or what is it called? It's based on that guy's book about mushroom. It's like on Netflix. What was it? No, it's like using drugs as like medicine and how we should get away from them being vilified, which they are since like the Nixon era. And
Psychedelics?
yeah, like psychedelics and stuff, and and
magic medicine."
MDMA
No.
and stuff.
I think it's like how
The one where he does a drug every
yeah,
episode?
yeah. What is that called?
I remember.
But my friend watched it and he also kind of
I think I tried to help a comic who was trying to do that as well. Like he did a bunch of different show on a different drug.
Oh.
And I videoed him after or before the show or something.
Oh, okay.
It was Brett Hiker. I don't think anything ever came of it.
Oh, How to Change Your Mind. It's called How to Change Your Mind.
Right.
Which it's great, but there's also a whole part of it where it's like people don't always have. Some people have what some sober people might refer to as this very sensitive brain, and certain drugs and things just open up a whole side of them that can be scary, basically, for them. Or if like they are genetically predisposed to like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, it like amplifies it because of just the way that the drug. I mean, it's like anything. Like some people have a reaction to different types of. Everyone has different reactions to their antidepressants or alcohol. I found out I'm not good at drinking alcohol. It took a long time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that it made you sad.
No, it wasn't. I was like hooked on it. I like couldn't stop watching it.
It's crazy because you're like,
Have
I
you
also was
learned
like, I know
anything?
so many people like this. Like
Right.
not
Woo woo people. Yeah,
but,
same.
like wooks. It's like a bunch of wooks.
And how do you feel now? How are you different now?
I'm good. I came from a place of being like, because I was actually afraid to show it. My partner hasn't seen it, but it reminded me of our little like fight when we were both tripping. And I think to both of our credit, we were both having a bad trip. And it can be hard when you're both going down a bad place and
Mm-hmm.
you can't. You had to stick through the whole
Process it
trip.
The
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also since we found out my partner can't trip anymore because it triggers seizures sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Not every time.
It just affects people differently.
Yeah, the last time we tripped was on my birthday, and they had a seizure in the bathroom and hit their head.
You guys go to the bathroom when you're like, need your alone time tripping.
Yeah, I know. Dude, this is fun of me.
man. That's
But since then, also, I haven't had my connection to get the drugs has been cut off. So it's kind of a natural progression where I'm just like, that's not something I'll seek out
Maybe
anymore.
it's like a time in your life that's over.
Yeah.
Or coming to an end.
That's
Yeah, 'cause I tripped a
went
lot
through that
in COVID. Yeah, I tripped a lot at the beginning of COVID.
I tripped a lot in college. I was tripping a lot in college, and I look back
Mhm.
on myself at that time, and I realized I was also like kind of manic
Searching
in
for
other parts
something?
of my life.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it loses, like when you're doing it so much, it kind of loses the magic of it too. Like I feel like every once in a while
Right.
it's nice, but when I was doing it a lot, I was like, I'm just gonna hula hoop for like 45 minutes, and I was just like not like doing a lot other than
It
But
can be
it's
an
college.
unproductive habit. You can't really
Totally.
do shit when you're on it other than just like sit there and write, make weird, probably bad art and watch movies and music.
So
But
did you think you got anything out of it?
yeah, I think I do trip. I will trip occasionally on special occasions. And
Because
also
you want to heighten the experience of that occasion?
Yeah. Or just there is kind of a spiritual aspect about it that I like a connective feeling that I can't even explain, that it happens almost every single time I trip, if it's a good trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's usually a good trip where I just feel that interconnectedness where I'm like, we are all one. We love each other and we need, like, it's a perspective thing that I really like a lot of the time. But also, I think there's a lot of good things about Buddhism that bring you back to reality that they made in this documentary. They make a departure from,
Yeah.
which is, I'm glad I had that before I got really into tripping, so I could like bring myself back to like the reality of needing to face your suffering and needing to face your karma, and also like coming back to a place where you can relate to people rather than just being in like a very heightened spiritual place, because you can't function very well that way in real life.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she definitely has like this part of escapism that I've been like thinking about myself, just looking back on it. Like this lady had like kids and shit, and she just left them one day and like went to southern Crestone, Colorado, and they started this cult, and she was like, I'm God, I'm Mother God. And then she would have like a new lover and call him Father God. And then sometimes the Father Gods would be like, I'm Father God. No, I'm Father God. And like there's this whole other part of it. But like it was a lot of alcohol, tripping, and drinking colloidal silver, which I never understood that part of it. But then, part of me is like, she's running from shit. Like that's what it was. It's like this constant escapism, like that's where I was when I was drinking. Is like I was like, I want to get fucked up, and it's like you just want to forget everything. Like you want to like tap out of reality. That's why you're fucking drinking too much and shit. And it's a hard thing.
It's just silver
realize.
particles in a liquid.
It'll turn you blue if you drink too much of it.
I think that's a QAnon thing too.
Oh yeah.
Like
she was like
ivermectin.
drinking like liquor and colloidal silver.
Yeah, so much vodka.
So for the listener,
Yes, for the listener.
do you suggest doing psychedelics?
Depends.
Yeah, I feel like maybe
Not frequently. I don't think it's a good thing to do like more than.
She did
Once a
it,
month.
so you don't have to.
Yeah.
you gotta see her whole
Learn
circle.
from Mother God and her sacrifice. She's like Jesus.
I think also maybe like get a if you want to do psychedelics, if you have the way of going to like a psychiatric nurse and getting evaluated to see if it's like a good choice for you, might be a good idea. But I didn't do that, so I feel like a phony. That would be good. But like if you know that you have family members with schizophrenia or bipolar disorder with schizophrenic ideations, like I think or schizophrenic episodes, maybe just consider doing it with a therapist instead of with your friends, I would say. Just from what I've gathered in the last
My friends
few
are my
years.
therapists, and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't need it if you have good enough
You
friends.
still
My
hanging out
friends
with
just
your
listen.
therapist?
No.
No.
My friends just listen to everything I go through.
I think about that sometimes. That's so funny.
Oh, yeah, that's
Your
hilarious.
relationship with your therapist. Yeah. You got to go back to listen to some of those old episodes with Haley.
Yeah,
if you
when I
wanna
Oh,
get
they're the
that whole-
best. I remember what she would say. She was like, I bet he could pick me up. I was like, that is so funny and specific. So funny.
No, he didn't even save me from the fuck boy. I got seduced by a fuck boy.
Well, sometimes you got to go through that,
Yeah.
to find the Mark Ruffalo's.
It's weird.
To
You look
find
back on your therapist and like which ones you really liked and which ones you're like, oh. I've been trying to write a joke about like, do you ever think about your 2020 therapist and how you want to get him a card or something? Like that was my
Oh,
most
was really hard.
crazy.
A card? You want to get him
for like
Thank
how
you.
unhinged I was.
Oh, you want to like write him a
Yeah, like,
I'm
thank
sorry
you
card?
for just letting me go crazy.
Have you not seen a therapist?
I've
since-
seen two, and I've had
Oh.
great relationships with both of them.
Oh.
So I've been very lucky. I feel very
Yeah.
blessed in that respect.
Yeah, I tried to find a new one and I found one that was okay. She didn't really give a shit about spirituality or astrology or any of that. Like she was just like, I'm just learning about all of this. And then I was like, that's a red flag.
Yeah, it's
And then-
interesting when like something comes up like that and you're like, oh, are we meant to be?
I don't want her to be looking at me like a silly little goose when I'm talking about really meaningful things. Sorry.
Like, listen, bitch, Pluto is in fucking blah, blah, blah. And that's why I'm feeling this way.
That's so
If you
funny.
don't get that, then fucking.
You think it's coming from a place of judgment? Like, I mean,
No.
I would feel like that's like a religious, it's almost close to being like, oh, you believe in God, and your therapist is like, sorry, I'm an atheist. Like, wouldn't you like,
right.
but you are like worried that she,
I guess with my therapist, who I was admittedly in love with, I could have conversations about spirituality, whereas with her, I'd just be informing her, and she'd be like, "Oh, interesting."
Do you think you were
Yeah.
just more
So you
forgiving of
wanted
your
someone-
first therapist?
Huh?
Were you just more forgiving of your first therapist because you were
babe.
because you were in love with it?
Beautiful, tall, and big. Maybe.
All right.
I have never had good experiences with lady therapists. I don't.
oh no,
Well,
I wonder what it is.
I just remember telling my therapist that I was like scared of like things I was scared of,
Mm.
and she was like, "You believe in ghosts?"
Oh.
And I was just like, "I guess if you put it like that, it's like, don't say it like that, bitch."
No,
Like,
Yeah,
she
that's
said it
funny.
so. It was very
You
funny.
should try
it like
a
shook me out
queer
of it.
therapist. A
Oh,
queer.
oh,
Can you ask for that specifically?
Yeah.
You can
You'd be
find.
like, I need them to be queer.
You can find you can also find you can look up what they specialize in. And so like some are like spirituality, freeing your mind. That's what I went for with mine. Like it was like, do you struggle with family trauma?
And not freeing your mind.
Yeah, and like it's called like free your mind
Free
something.
your
But I was like, that sounds
mind
nice.
and
Free
the
your
rest
mind?
of
Yeah, I need to
life.
free this bitch. Like
All right.
But
Yeah, go to therapy.
there are therapists that are like, I specialize in like queer trauma or sexuality and like stuff like that too. And you might feel less like they might be more unbiased for you.
Yeah.
If you are still looking.
Right.
But you know what you did right? That I am inspired by. You followed your gut.
So I was trying to get that free your mind thing.
Free your mind.
Were you proud of me?
Yes.
Why?
Oh, because you didn't. You made that decision
We're
for
proud of
yourself.
you. And you're good. That's good.
Because some people
No,
would just stay, and like I think
But not Haley.
It's good to know. Like, what I like is that you're not turned off by therapy because you had one that you were like, I don't know if we just vibed well.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing that a lot of people need to know is that like not every therapist is gonna be good for you, and they might insult you. Even like they might, you know.
Same thing with dentists.
Oh yeah,
Bring it
dentists
full
I feel
circle.
like are like, I'm gonna fucking shame you right now from the
Yeah,
inside.
they're like, do you have a water pick? I'm like, I'm not buying a water pick.
I had one and then it broke.
You have a water pick.
She's talking about penises, I think. All right. Well, we got to end this, guys. Thanks so
Yeah.
much for being
Thank
on. I
you.
appreciate
Free
your
your
time.
mind.
Yes. Remember,
Yes.
free your mind
Rest will follow.
and the rest will follow.
You don't have to stay with therapists and watch Mother God or I keep
Love
wanting to
Has
call
Won.
it.
The Mother God Show.
Honestly, it is such a funny documentary though in a lot of ways too. Like it starts off with you seeing this lady like that's blue and dead, and then
Jesus Christ.
Well, they all, most of them have mommy issues
yeah,
too.
and there's so much
Yeah.
trauma.
We all
mommy
do.
issues.
We all do.
There's a lot to learn from it. Like there's a lot to learn from it. And it's really like the editing and just the way they have all this footage. Like it's just crazy that they have all that recorded.
Yeah, and it's recent, so all the people are still in the cult.
Yeah. And then
Nobody's recovered.
there was like one guy who was like in a
Like
turtleneck.
2016.
And he was like,
And
I'm
that's
just gonna
terrible.
steal all the money from this cult.
Oh,
and leave."
yeah.
And you're like, oh, there's like this like sub part.
Yeah, that dude, he like saw she's dead, and he's like, I gotta.
Yeah, he was like, all right, I'm gonna
Can't trust
transfer
people in a
funds and
turtleneck.
get out of here. It's
Got it.
so funny. It's kind of like a whole ecosystem. Okay. Anyway.
Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank you.
Yeah, time to
Sorry.
forever be excellent to each other.
Be excellent.
Yes.
All right, bye.
I love you. Bye.
Or do you have anything you want to plug?
Just follow me on social media so that you'll see when my album comes out.
Yeah.
Katie Bowman Comedy or The Curly Bush for art.
Yes. Follow me too at Haley Drizcoll with a Z and 2 L's. Nobody books me on shows anymore. So book me on your show. You
Book her on your show, okay?
All right.
All
All right, bye.